Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I hope you're having a good Monday. West Ham, yet again, decided to make a bid late last night for Onana, Belgian player, born in Senegal. But for me, I feel it's a bit of a phantom bid myself. I feel it's a bit of let's appease the fans because of the weekend that happened. Uh, I think he's a very, very, very highly rated player. I think they want £50 million from that. It's reported today, and West Ham go in with a £23 million, 23 million euros, right, which is about 19 million for a player they want €50 million for. I'm not convinced. I really am not. I don't know what to say on it really, other than when I look at the way we are doing our transfer business, I'm worried. I'm worried to a certain point, and I've done this video tonight because I want to see what the fans think of this, yeah, and the people who support this club. For me, when I look at the way this bid has sort of been constructed, yeah, we've been linked with this player, but West Ham don't spend £50 million out or X amount of pounds out on a midfielder. We've been linked with James Ward-Prowse all summer. Now it's Onana. I'm not convinced. Like, if you're not going to pay extra few million, I just don't see it happening. £23 million there, and they want 50 is an insult. But the problem is, where do we go from here? Obviously, the weekend we had such a bad weekend on the transfer front. Left back going, like Keane Lewis Potter looks like he's gone. Other targets that West Ham have been consistently been linked with have gone. Now today we've been linked with a left back from Benfica, which I'll wait and see on that one. But this Onana one, I just feel that he's too good for West Ham. If I'm being truthfully honest. I think West Ham are a side where we need to be developing, yeah. And he's a player that will go into a side straight away, so to speak. And Arsenal have been linked with him like massively now. I think there's something happening in Arsenal that even I don't know about. And if Arsenal come in with a big bid, like, they might get him out of there. Do you know what I'm saying? So it'd be interesting to see what you think tonight on this. Are you convinced that Onana's the man? Do you think this will happen? Or is this like another phantom bid that we've seen over and over again from their club? Do you know what I mean? He's got good attributes, Onana. I think he'd be a great player for us. But is he a bit, what's the word? Is it a bit overhyped? Like, is it like the bid like coming in right on a Sunday evening, late, yeah, and he gets rejected? Like, surely West Ham must have known what Lille would have wanted for him. You know what I'm saying? And to go in and put in a bid which is not even half of what the valuation that they want to go for is a Golden Sullivan special. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what you think in the chat, and hopefully you can reassure me that everything's going to be all right. Richard says, what? They want 50, and we've offered 23. Laughing my ass off. Sully must be making the offers again. I think that sort of sums it up, doesn't it? Let's be honest. I think this is a Sullivan purchase, I think. Do you know what I mean? For me. Have they got the conversion rate to euros wrong? So everyone is being snapped up. I felt the same when Ings went to Villa. It's pissed me off. Do you know what I mean? Troj says larger. Yeah, like when you look at a larger sort of club, bigger club, I mean Champions League club, Troj. That's sort of what I'm saying. And I just don't see it. I just don't see this one happening. I really don't. I'll be stunned if this one happens. Do you know what I mean? If West Ham go in with a bid of 30 million, I don't think Lille are going to sell him. Lille have got some top quality players in their ranks. They haven't got to sell him. Do you know what I mean? They haven't got to sell him to us for cheap either. So I don't know. Ethan, let's have a look. Ethan. Got the physical attributes of Suchet and technical ability to play. No brainer for me. Good. Yeah, he looks good on the ground. He looks good. He reminds me of like a Patrick Vieira type player. I think Mitchell and Lucas said it the other day in the space. And for me, that's what we need. We need a powerhouse who's someone who's just going to break up play and allow Declan to do his thing. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm not very optimistic on this one. I really am not. Do you know what I mean? I think he's a good player. He's 20 years old. He's only going to get better. Um, but I'm not convinced at all. 50, 60 mil they want it. It's too much. It is too much, man. It is. And the thing is, it's too much for us. Like, don't get me wrong. If we was a sort of club that was going out and spending like 40 million pounds per player, I'll be like, yeah, I'll agree. Like, go for it. But I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. And that's the worrying signs are that we're starting to see these bids again of like phantom bids. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And for how many people we get linked with at West Ham, yeah, we very rarely get a deal done. And let's be honest, this is like the Ariola deal was a no brainer. Yeah, because we had like something in his contract to say that we got first refusal on signing him basically. And the Agard one took five weeks to get sorted out, and nearly that nearly sorted up. So yeah, let's have a look. What we got? They tried him. Yeah, I agree. Forward. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to sell. They don't want to sell Sullivan. He's trying to turn his head. Maybe, but even so, right? You want to have players who want to come in it to the club. Do you know what I mean? And I don't, as I say, Lille don't have to sell. They've got Jonathan David there, Bamba. They've just sold Botman for a lot of money. They've got this man. They've got a good team there. You know what I mean? Hi, James. Lille don't want to sell Onana. I think that's why they've put a high price tag on him. Probably. But coming in, like putting a price tag of 50 million and going in with 23, that reminds us of Sullivan of old. Let's be honest, like doing that. And I just feel, before I go through more of your comments, I just feel that this is starting to be a reoccurring thing with West Ham. I don't know about anyone else, but it just seems like weekend we lost out on the left back at AZ Atmar. Hickey is off the list. Keanu Potter's gone. Broja is up in the air. Everton and Newcastle come in. Now, if Newcastle are involved, if they're going to pay him the money, you go Newcastle. So it just seems like it's a bid, but there's no body behind it. There's no thrust behind it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I would offer him 30 mil. Though he looks beast. Yeah, he is. He looks very, very good. But we've got to pay the money, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. And I don't think West Ham will pay the money, though, Troj, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Ain't his contract till 2026. No chance. Yeah. Lots of teams are after him. We have no chance. See, a lot of people will say the same thing in the chat tonight. That there's literally no chance of this happening. And I'm in that same bracket. Mitchell, on the other hand, we done a space last night on Twitter, and he's so optimistic. He thinks, yeah, this is going to happen, right? And I'm literally in the camp with Joan. Like, I think a lot of teams will come in for him. A lot of teams that can offer him more than us in money, in football, and in sort of winning stuff. Basically, like it's beyond their reach. And for me, that's what's irritating me a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? Arsenal want so to, at the price, yeah, for us. Jonathan Day is probably going to go to Bayern Munich. Oh my days, gutted, mate. Absolute gutted if that happens. In it, let's be honest. It's all the phantom bids again. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. For me, when I look at these phantom bids, I think we're starting to suss out what really is a phantom bid, so to speak. Like when you sort of said about Agard, yeah, Agard didn't feel like a phantom bid. I think it just felt right. But when you look at being linked with James Ward-Prowse all summer, let's be honest, if you're being realistic here, we've got no chance of getting. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you've got Onana, and you've got other players that we consistently get linked with, but we've literally got no chance of getting. It is starting to become frustrating. It really is. And I see something today, and I don't like to sort of bring up that we shouldn't panic and we should just wait to the end of the window, so to speak. Um, for me, why are we going to wait to the end of the window? After the end of the window, we could have 5 Premier League games and a playoff, like two-legged affair, and we could be in trouble. Well, 5 games in and no signings, and I don't class Guard and Ariel as signings. I don't. I really, really don't. I look at them two players and think, right, they're upgrades. They're upgrades on what we've got. Yeah, like Guards comes in, Diop's going to go. Yeah, Ariola's come in. He's been here last year, so it's just there's no squad depth, and people are like saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's only like July the 4th." I'm thinking in 33, 34 days' time, West Ham are going to be playing Manchester City, and we've got to get these players signed, sealed, and delivered, and they just at this club. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is a worry. It really is. If I am cutting out, please do tell me. Everton are going in for Broja. Saw it on Sky Sports earlier. Yeah. And that is another worry and all. Because Frank Lampard, connections to Chelsea, he probably would have worked with Broja when he was at Chelsea. So that is a worry there. That one. That really is. And if Broja goes, who is the striker? Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know who else there is. Maybe El Nesri, but if he gets snapped up, then it's good night. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure they are phantom bids. I think they are a Sully punts, but hold on. Hopefully, it will pass. Let me sort this out. Yeah, right. Hopefully, it'll pass. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the stream yard tonight. Jamie Wall Prowse was wishful thinking. I agree. We're never getting this man, are we? Let's be honest. No chance. And we all know it. Are you getting a bit worried now, James, that we are missing our targets and Lingard is getting on my nerves? 100% agree, Rich. I couldn't agree any more with you, mate. What I don't like with regards to that, Rich, is the fact that we are chasing players with no realistic sort of attitude of getting them. Like, Ward Prowse is never going to come to West Ham. Never. Right? And if he does, right, we're going to pay massively over the odds for this man. There's no two ways about it. Onana, for instance, we go in with a bid of 23 million. They want 50 million euros. Like, it just doesn't make no sense. So it's like it always has been with West Ham, like phantom bids and trying to, you know, chase things. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's an interesting one, and that's why I want to do this video tonight to hear what everyone else thinks tonight. Because for me, my personal opinion is that I'm starting to worry now because one, we're running out of targets. Two, I'm not seeing nothing else like in regards of signings. And it would not surprise me if we don't get a left back at this club and Ben Johnson goes left back, Ashby comes in as a covering right back, and you've got Ashby Kafal right. Yeah. What else we got here? Fresh Fielder says 2 weeks, never mind. 34 days to Man City. It's a long time. Be patient, mate. Not for me, Fresh Fielder. This is West Ham United. You should know this better than most, mate. Right? How long does it take us to get a deal over the night, mate? Do you know what I mean? 34 days to Man City, that will soon go. You know what I mean? By the end of the week, if we have not signed another player by the end of the week, we've got to start panicking. We've got to start worrying a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And people say wait to the end of the window, right? That has got to stop right now. That's got to absolutely stop. The window ends at the end of September. By the end of September, we could have played 5 Premier League games, not won one. Do you know? the other day you were talking about how much credit Moyes has at West Ham. If we lose our first 7 games, what would happen? Well, the fan base will be pissed off, mate. And all the people that say, "Oh, well, give him time," they will start saying different. For me, not 7 games, the first 5. This summer window and the first 5 Premier League games, we'll see where we're going this season. If we come out the traps in the first 5 and we manage to nick 3 wins out of somewhere, and maybe a loss and a draw, I'll take that right now. Do I think that would happen with Manchester City first, Forest away second, Brighton who we've never beat, Villa away, and then we've got Spurs in the derby. Now, for me, I'm not optimistic, mate. Like, show me some signings, and then maybe I might be a bit more optimistic. But at present, I'm just not, because I look at it and think nothing's really changed from last season. We've lost more players than we've got, and we're letting players go left, right, and centre. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting one. It really is. We are seriously getting left behind, and other sides are strengthening. We are. I'm going to keep the faith. Well, I'm going to try to keep the faith. But how can you keep the faith when you're not seeing anything happening? Do you know what I mean? And when you are seeing a bid for Onana, for instance, and let's be honest, right? We all know he ain't going to come to West Ham for 23 million euros. This is a player who's highly rated. And people are saying, "Oh, yeah, he might come to us for 23 million. Like, it ain't going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, again, it just feels like to me that it's just a phantom bid. It's just to make us look like that we're busy. Do you know what I'm saying? When really we're not. We're just getting on by, so to speak. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I don't know on that one. What else we got? Let's have a look. I'm not sure they are phantom bids. I think they are Sully punts, but he's low balls. Yeah, I do agree on that. Do you know what I mean? Good point. Why does it take us so long to get deals over the line? Seriously, who's to say Sully isn't sabotaging deals for players on Moyes' list? Would you put it past him? Not at all, Fresh. Not at all, mate. I wouldn't. But the only thing where I look at it different, and listen, as I said the other night, and I've done a great show last night with Mitchell and Lucas, where we were right in on the ball and Moyes to a point. And I turned around and I said, on this one, I can't blame the ball, because the ball are trying to get players in. Do you know what I mean? And listen, how much I hate the ball, I do. Right? And I'll be the first in the queue to give them stick. But on this one, I feel that Moyes is mucking about with Lingard. I think there's certain issues that we're just not getting addressed. Do you know what I mean? Like players, like that's a good player to have, yeah. But would it happen? Like, I'm just not convinced. I'm just not convinced at all. I'd love it to happen. Would it? I don't think it would, mate. If I'm being honest. Stuck by my word. Jay Ward-Prowse won't fit in at West Ham style of play. I agree. I don't understand where it sort of comes from with him, if that makes sense. Like Southampton had crosses and free kicks and all sorts last year, right? And Broder only scored 6 goals. He played 32 times. Now, that to me is a question mark. Now, if you've got Broder who scores 10 goals, 12 goals, with Ward-Prowse supplying him, who's supposed to be that good, then you could sort of say it. You know what I mean? You could say, well, yeah, you're fit. But for me, it's English tax, and it's also a player that I just think he's just bang average at best, if I'm being honest. Right? I think he's a good player. Right? He plays for Southampton. Yeah, he scores free kicks and all that. You know what I mean? But he's not. There's just something there with him. I just don't see like the wow factor. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? What we got? Let's have a look. We've got, that's been said. This one hasn't. Have West Ham got the power to say to a player signed by this date or it's off? Maybe Man City can. Well, maybe West Ham should start doing that, Mitch, if I'm being honest. West Ham need to start having a bit of backbone and saying, right, you need to sort yourselves out, boys. Right? If you don't want to play for us, fine, bon voyage, and we'll move on. It's as simple as that. Like, West Ham need to be bigger than the player. West Ham will always be bigger than the players. Listen, we've had some great players come through our ranks over the years, right? And some of them have tried to think that they're bigger than the club. they will never be bigger than the club, and that goes for the current crop. Moyes and the board are playing with fire. I can see it backfire. I can see it backfire. Yeah. And the more the days go past, and the more I see links to stuff, which, let's be honest, are bollocks, so to speak, like where you just think, you know what, that's definitely not going to happen. That is maybe happening. If you was to rank them out of 10, where you think West Ham, players-wise, the chances of West Ham signing them, I would give Ward-Prowse a 3. I'd give Onana probably I'd probably give him a 4. Do you know what I mean? Just for the fact that it's like, if no one else comes in for him from England, he might want to come to England. Yeah, I don't see Ward-Prowse coming to West Ham. I don't see us spending that amount of money unless we sell someone for a lot of dough. If we sell someone for a lot of dough, don't want to name him, but if we did, then I could see it happening. But I just don't see it. I really don't. Oh no, what's your name? That's it, mate. That's him. Ben Jim is a gamble, to be honest. Not for me, Dana. I've got to be honest. I like him. I see him go through Bayern Munich on his own with Villarreal, and I thought he was excellent, mate. And I don't see who else really getting linked with who's better than him at the minute, especially on the left-hand side. So, yeah, it's just, I don't think it's a gamble. I just think it's a missed opportunity on that one. I really do mean that. Let's have a look. Villa might be in for Joe Gomez, £30 million. Do we need another defender? I don't think we do. We've got enough. But just waiting for Sully. I'm working 18 hours a day trying to get deals over the line. Yeah. That is a problem. But then Moyes, some of the issues I look at, and I do think Moyes is stalling and being very stubborn in his ways. Is Onana really a Moyes type player? Really? I don't think Moyes has sat over in Lille and started seeing players. Could it be a Newman player? Then maybe. But I'm not convinced, mate. I really am not. And if you was to sort of go through all, as I say, when you're out and about and you see the rumours and you see the players that we're getting linked with, just do yourself a favour, rate them out of 10. And what the chances of West Ham getting them. Like Areola, I thought was about 7, 8 out of 10 chance. I think as long as no one else comes in who's higher up than us, I think we was always going to get him, and we did. The guard one, I was pretty convinced. I done a video on it on his channel, and I turned around and said, this man will be at West Ham. I can't wait to do a video on it. Yeah. On these other ones, these other links, I just can't see it. I just can't see it. Nothing is saying to me, you know what, this man, I could see this in a West Ham shirt. And Jesse Lingard's one of them. I just don't see it at present. So, yeah. Right, let's go through what we've got here. We've got Wally. Happy 4th of July to you, sir. You know what I mean? Wally, all the way from the US of A. Any chance of Rico Henry, or is Moyes as I cut out and I'll cut back in again? Aaron Hickey. Now, Rico Henry could be on the move. Would you have Rico Henry at West Ham? I definitely would have Rico Henry at West Ham. I've said it for a long time. He attacks. He's fast. He's not a bad defender. And he's got an excellent delivery on him. For me, it's a no-brainer. Rico would be the man at left back. Evening, Jimbo. A lot of people disagree, but in my opinion, we've got to go top with Antonio again. We're going to struggle if he scores 4 in the first 3 games last season. There's 6 in 9 months. Yeah, I agree, Steve. Be the striker, mate. Always has to be questioned if no striker comes in. I agree. Fullbacks are beginning with the letter R. I know you're going. Well, yeah, 100%, man. What we got? This video is so good and so pure, yet Onana has only actually marginally better stats than Souček in the Farmers League. Our fan base get so excited about a young Frenchman. But he's not French, Phil. Even though I spoke to Phil last night on a space. Charming man, very posh. He's not French, he's Belgian. What do you think our chances are of getting Pellegrini? Luca Pellegrini, yeah, man gets linked all the time, doesn't he? Right, he's another one, loves a tackle. Would not surprise me. It would not surprise me at all if that was to happen. All right, let's be honest. Do I think that'll happen? I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10 for rating it. I think it's a cheap signing, right? Because I think he's surplus to requirements at Juventus, and for me, it looks like it's whether or not he fancies England or not, really. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, mate. I don't know, but I'll say 5 out of 10 on that. What we got here? We've had no replacement lined up for Noble yet. We already have Souček, Kufal, or a guard to replace Newman. Yeah, and that is a great question there. We've got no replacement for Mark Noble, and we've known Mark Noble was going to retire a year ago. Now, is Connor going to come in? Is Ekwar going to come in? Now, I'll see a bit of that Ekwar in the under-23s. That's only a short video, but that boy can play, mate. Do you know what I mean? He's ex-Chelsea and all. Would I give Ekwar a go? I don't know. I think something's going to happen with the youth this year. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Luke. How you doing, mate? What we got here? What about Pellegrini? As I said it, Fish. Very posh. Feels like we're waiting for all our rivals to buy up and what they want before we start our bargain shop. Totally agree, Lee. Totally, utterly agree with that comment. That's comment of the night for me. Right? It is like what it is. West Ham don't want to show their hand, so what they're doing is they are going. You go and do what you want, and then we'll pick up some scraps at the end. Do you know what I mean? Not exactly vintage, isn't it? And what makes me laugh, this is the one thing that does make me really fucking chuckle, is that Calvin Phillips has gone to Manchester City. Rafinha looks like he's on his way to Barcelona from the betting, from what I've seen. I don't think it is Chelsea now. I think he might be swayed to Barcelona. And we was linked with them players in January, right, for silly money. Now, that's gone out the window again. It's just the same old stuff. And people say don't panic. Yeah, everything will be fine, but will it be fine? And if it ain't fine, then what can we do about it when it ain't fine? Well, we can't do nothing because the window will be shut, and then we've just got to get on with it. So I think the next sort of 2 weeks will decide what is really happening at West Ham. Why is Jesse Lingard not signed at this club? Right, he's a free agent now. There's no excuses. He's weighing up his options, apparently. Really. Right, what else we got here? Because we're going to get through these. Gonzo said he's not worth more than 20 million. Who's that? Amos. Who's that? Who you on about 20 million? If you're on about Onana, I think he's worth a bit more than 20, definitely. I didn't mean to put Pellegrini twice in the comments. Don't worry about it, bro. Pellegrini's a typical West Ham signing. I totally agree with you, mate. 100%. It just seems like it's a person from another country who, let's be honest, ain't playing, needs a club, and that's it. It's not a top end left back. It's, in a way, it's a backup left back. Let's be honest. That's what it is. It's it. There's one player I think Moyes could potentially get the best out of in the Premier League is Tino Werner. Maybe a cheeky loan for a season. Maybe, but it's his wages, mate. I think the wages, Chelsea won't subsidise his wages, I don't think. Especially for us. I eat caviar in my sleep. I bet you do, Phil. 100%. Ekwar can play. He's a unit and can break play and gives the ball away a bit too frequently, though. Yeah. He's young, though, isn't he, though, mate? It's going to happen. What we got? Where else are we? What did I get? He didn't lose on any strikers. None, mate. Obviously, Broja, the man that everyone says about. Newcastle, Everton are involved now. Wherever's going to happen. Buster says, James, who's winning Wimbledon? Now, do you know what? I've been watching Wimbledon, and Nick Kyrgios, mate, was a great bet at the start of the tournament. I think it was something like 50-1, I think. Something stupid, and he is buzzing at the minute, mate. That geezer loves a row. You either love him or hate him. He's like Marmite, but he's entertaining. Who do I think will win it? On the ladies' side, I'm not too sure. On the men's side, I think whoever beats Djokovic wins it. I think Djokovic is like the king of Wimbledon, isn't he? Let's be honest. But I think Nadal, he's playing now. Not too sure what the score is, but do you know what? Kyrgios, mate, if he keeps going the way he's going and he stays fit, he could meet Rafa in the semi-final. I think he gets through his quarter-final against the Chilean on Wednesday, and he's got Rafa on Friday. That will be some game, mate. Trust me, 100%. Because them two have got a bit of needle between them, and yeah, 100%. Perkins got lazy in the 23s after playing against Zagreb. Yeah. Don't talk about Wimbledon. Fucking nightmare around that area at the minute. Closing rush. Yeah, but it is what we got. Let's skip down to the bottom. Good evening to you, Mr. E20. Loving the trim. Really suits you. Scrubbed up very well tonight. Thank you very much, Pipless, mate. You know what I mean? I'm glad you like it. Do you know what I mean? Don't know who you are, but you know what I mean? I will sleep well tonight knowing that, son. 100%. Who not the Forest sign looks like a good player. Could be worth a punt at 17 million. Yeah, as the ice cream man goes by. You know what I mean? Got more chance of buying an ice cream than we have a striker at the minute. If he wasn't Spurs, Winks 15 million would be Nobe's replacement. Nah, not good enough, mate. Not good enough. Need better than that. Harry Winks, mate, I think is massively like. I remember a Spurs fan before saying that Harry Winks was going to be better than Declan Rice. I never laughed so much in my life, mate. 100%. I definitely take Vernies on the 268,000 a week. Unbelievable. Nadal will win Wimbledon. England or India in the cricket? I'll go England, mate. I mean, Nadal is 2 sets out. Let's have a look. Kyrgios is a Spurs fan. I'm not really worried about what he supports, mate. I must admit I do like him for his tennis though. Evening, Ian. I mean, I'm not driving the ice cream van. I'm glad you're not, Phil. Do you know what I'm saying? And that is the end of the comments, and probably that's the end of me for tonight. What's going to happen this week? I don't know. We're going to get linked with every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the planet. But are we going to sign anyone? That's the main question. Should we panic? People say yes, people say no. In my opinion, we should start to think about it now. We should start going, you know what? We need a striker, we need a left back, and we need a midfielder. And we've got none of the above at the minute. Right? So what is going on? Do you know what I mean? This, to me, seems like it's minimal spend, yet again, from West Ham. And at the end of the day, it's not good enough. It is not good enough. And until we start seeing some players come in, then I'm sorry, but Moyes and this board need to sort themselves out. They massively need to sort themselves out. And I do feel there's a bit of a rift in there. I don't think it's all plain sailing. I really don't. I think a lot of it is to do with this Jesse Lingard situation. And I said the other night that he is affecting us because we're waiting on him and we don't know who we're going to go for. And West Ham should be having 2-3 targets and having bids in all over the place. But I see Leeds today. Leeds have gone out and signed a player from Feyenoord, tiny little player, and they've also signed another player, USA international. I think it's Taylor Adams. I think his name is. And for me, right, I know they've got rid of Calvin Phillips for a lot of money. I know they've got rid of, they're going to get rid of Rafinha. But West Ham should be acting like that. And West Ham's not. And that is a major, major problem for me. And I'm on a scale of 1 to 10 in regards of concern, I'm about a 6 at the minute. Right. By the end of the week, that might go up to a 7. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm concerned. I really am. Can we get a fantasy football league running for the channel? You can do whatever you like, Jezza, if you want to organise it. It's bold. It's Moyes, not the bold. I think it's a bit of both, but I agree. Some of it is Moyes. Where's Kadinsky? No backbone. Interesting. I think his hands are a little bit tired, mate, if I'm being honest. I think if he wants saying, he's got to have a vote, hasn't he? If he's getting outvoted, he's got no chance. You know what I'm saying? Wow, so the reason Danjuma... Oh, let me get this straight. Wow, the reason Danjuma is said to have an attitude problem is because he would get in fights with his teammates if he felt they were slacking in training or if they were partying too much. Uh, I don't know about that, mate. I don't know about that, if I'm being honest. Um, phew. If that's true, then I can understand it. But it, it depends what they're doing. If he wants to be a winner, then I wouldn't say fighting him would be a good idea. But yeah, as it looks like paying his Red Bull player, yeah, Leipzig, yeah. Moyes to be sacked. You've heard it here first. Can't see us winning the game under him. Blimey. He's some views. I'm an 8 already. I can't imagine there being a rift between Sullivan and Moyes. They know what each other were like before Moyes rejoined the club. I agree, Charlie, but the problem is with this is the Danjuma bid and the deal with all that has sort of opened a lot of people's eyes on a lot of things. Right. And if Moyes is mucking about with Lingard and the board are saying basically what's going on, right? The board, let's be honest, someone put it in my chat last night, I think it was. They said Moyes is an employee. He doesn't own West Ham. So why would you give an employee of the club like free reign? If you're a business owner, you ain't gonna let like your employee run the show. You're gonna run the show and he's gonna work under your guidance. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think there is something in it, Charlie. I really do, mate. I don't like to say it, but I feel it because West Ham just ain't doing nothing at the minute. It's a lot of yes, no's, maybes, and nothing concrete at all. Right? And when you weigh up the two deals that we've done, look how long they've took. They've took ages to get done. Like, and one of them was already here. So I think there's something happening in there that we don't even know about. If I'm being honest. It's like Roy Keane used to be on everybody. West Ham are that person who doesn't go to the buffet straight away. They wait until it's dead. It's died down a bit. But when they go up there, all that's left is his egg sandwiches. Buster, mate. I love Buster's comments. That's another comment of the night. You know what I mean? Pretty much says it all, really. West Ham going after the scraps. Now, if no one picks up Ismail Sarr and Dennis from Watford, now I've heard that Dennis might be going to Everton. He's another one who's been linked with Everton. Then we're running out of targets, gentlemen. Do you know what I mean? And ladies. So it's a major concern. What else we got? And just get the buffet all together and ask their mates to a few sausage rolls on their plate. Yeah, I agree, mate. Let's be honest, though. The Danjuma situation isn't anything new. Benrahma, Josh King, for example, this always happens with them. Yeah, but why is it happening, Charlie? That's the question that needs to be asked, is why is this keep happening? Is Danjuma a bad signing? I don't think he's a bad signing. Right? If he comes to West Ham, he gets in the team straight away. He's better than Benrahma. And listen, people say about Benrahma, Josh King. Where's Josh King now? Like, Josh King wasn't the be-all and end-all, right? The Josh King situation only occurred because of the Grady Diangana situation. Grady Diangana got sold to West Brom, and that's why we bought Benrahma in. Now, in one way, you can look at it and think, well, Benny's done better than Grady did. And Grady's playing for West Brom now, doing nothing, really. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think there is something in it. And the way I look at it is Moyes isn't always right in his transfers, right? People say he is. Look at last year. Out of the 4 transfers, 2 of them were flops, 1 of them was a loan, and 1 of them was a player that wanted to stay in London and had nowhere else to go other than West Ham. Because Tottenham had signed someone, Arsenal had signed someone, he weren't going Palace, and he weren't going Brentford. He was coming to us. Lingard can afford to wait and weigh up his options. It won't be a quick deal or whatever he chooses. I agree, Joe, 100%. And I see this the other day, that he could sit around for 2 months if he wanted to. And that's not good for us. So we need to act fast. We really do. People moan when the board were in charge of the transfers. Now people are moaning. I understand it. I understand that. But I think sometimes you've got to get involved in the end when a manager is chasing one player and he's got his heart set on one player. Do you know what I mean? Is there a player that Moyes is looking at in a minute and saying, that's the man? Do you know what I mean? And people look at Danjuma and say, yeah, he's got a bad attitude, this, that, and the other. Paolo Di Canio had a bad attitude, mate. He assaulted a ref on the pitch. right back in the day. And look at him, he become an absolute West Ham legend. And he is a West Ham legend. And I see someone put it on Twitter the other day, Paolo Di Canio is not a West Ham legend. And I'm like, mate, you must only be about 18. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember watching that man play for us. He was a maverick. Like, he's an entertainer. And that's what West Ham need. Maybe has anyone ever thought that Dan Jr. might actually benefit West Ham and give them that push that we need to go a bit further on? Do you know what I'm saying? And the problem is, if Declan Rice was pushing people on, no one would say he's got a bad attitude because he's a winner. Dan Jim's got a bad attitude because he gets in disagreements with people. You got to look at it two different ways. James will end up with Les Dennis because Moyes doesn't know him. Yeah, I know, mate. I know it's getting massively frustrating. It really is on the front. I agree with Mitch the other day. We could do with a director of football, but Moyes wouldn't have it. Listen, I think Mitch was speaking a lot of sense the other night when he said about that. But it seems like to me that Moyes only wants people who are below the team that he's got now. Like, if West Ham was really going to come in and make a solid go this year, yeah, they would go to Brentford and take Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney's sitting in Brentford and going, like, and if West Ham was to go, right, we need a centre forward now to really push us on, go and get him. But the fan base would go, right, he's got to start Ivan Toney, right, because he's better than Antonio. Right, he's a better finisher than Antonio. He's better all round than Antonio. He's a better penalty taker than Antonio. But Moyes won't do that. That's why the Broja deal irritates me, because you've been looking for a striker for 18 months, yeah, since Haller, and you're going for a Chelsea academy player who's had 6 goals and 32 appearances in the Prem, and everyone's saying that he's going to be the next big thing. That to me doesn't. You're hoping he's going to be the next big thing, but there's no guarantee. Ivan Toney for me is ready made. And someone said about Jonathan David on the way to Bayern Munich. That's the sort of players that West Ham should be going for. But West Ham don't. Why? Because it's this stubborn approach again, as per usual. We will probably end up signing Januzaj. Would not surprise me. Cheap, cheerful signing. Knows Moyes. Yeah. I think it's happening because Moyes and Sullivan have different views on what they want in the market. It always happens if Sullivan is remotely involved in transfers. No rift, in my opinion. Probably. I can't not disagree with you as the ice cream man does his tune. But when I look at it, eventually the board are going to get a bit annoyed that nothing's getting done. Do you know what I mean? And if Newman's offering targets to, i.e., Moyes, and Moyes keeps saying no, then people have got to start asking questions of what's going on with Moyes at the end of the day, and what is he really looking at? People said in January that Moyes wasn't at fault for the January window. He couldn't find what he was looking for. There is no excuses now that he can't find the players he's looking for, because there's players out there that we've been linked with. He's even gone and watched. And he is just letting them go. And he has got money. There's no choice about it. This man has got money, right? So you've got to weigh it up, right? And sometimes Di Canio is not a West Ham legend. Who are these people? I know, mate. Who are they indeed? I think Spurs will finish above West Ham. I think Spurs will finish above West Ham once again. Maybe a title challenge under Conte. Well, Spurs fan. I'll keep cutting out for some crazy reason. I don't know why. Let's have a look. Right, internet's good. Right. To be honest, Sullivan doesn't want a director of football either. Moyes and Sullivan both are stubborn as each other. I agree with you on that, Charlie, 100%. Really do. How long until Newman gets the right ump? If he's choosing these players and Moyes doesn't want them, I can't help thinking Newman knows far better. Totally agree. Another good comment tonight. Comments are fucking banging tonight, I've got to admit. When you've worked for Man City for many years and you've found little gems and little players from all over the place, then you go with him. But we're not going with him. Do you know what I mean? So why are we not going with him? That is the $1 million question. I agree. Mitchell speaks a lot of sense until he gets out of bed each morning. Phil, you was on the chat last night, mate. We heard what you had to say. And you still think Onana's a Frenchman. And also, I think people are overestimating Newman's role. He's a glorified scout. That's all he does. He ain't a decision maker. Another good point. He will identify players, and then it's down to them to make the decision whether they want to go for the players or not. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think Newman's picked, for me, a Newman has picked a guard. That's not a Moyes signing, right? That's not a GSB signing. That's a Newman signing all over it. I think you just tell. Do you know what I mean? Because no one knew who guard was, really. And when I do see him play, I'm going to be over the moon because I just think he's absolutely mint. He should be trusted, and he just ain't. Really ain't. Right. Let's have a look. Let's get down to this final comment here. We're at our first pre-season game on Friday. I know it's still early in the window, but I want players in for pre-season games so that they will have time to gel into the team. I agree with you, mate. I really do. It will remain to be seen what happens at West Ham over the next coming weeks. But for me, to sort of round it up, because I'm going to leave it at that, is that why ain't they in here? Why? Like, I look at Leeds. Leeds are getting 2 deals done at a time, and West Ham can't get 1 done. And we're going for targets that are unrealistic. Let's be honest. In like Onana, I'll be quite stunned if Onana's playing a West Ham shirt, because for what I've heard about this geezer, he's going to be like the real deal in a few years' time. Like another one who's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? Can West Ham sign him? Not at the minute. Not in the Conference League. If he was in the Europa League, we might be able to do something, but not right now. I don't believe it. So I really seriously think that the ownership, Moyes, and I agree with Charlie, and I disagree with Charlie on that. I don't think there's something going on there, right? Because I think Moyes is very stubborn in his own ways, and I think the ball are getting fed up with like nothing's happening. Do you know what I mean? This is our biggest summer window for me in West Ham's history, so to speak, because we're at a stage where we could either go massively forward or we could go massively back. And for me, why is nothing happening? Why are these players not in at the club? Why are we only getting linked with 1 player at a time? Do you know what I mean? And the players that we are getting linked with, like Luca Pellegrini, I'm sorry, but he's like a makeshift. Do you know what I mean? And I said this the other day to sort of round it off, because I know I'm rambling on. A lot of these players that we are being linked with to a point are backups to the players that we've already got. Like we're not signing players who's going to come in and massively challenge Antonio, massively challenge Cresswell. Like it's just not happening for some reason. And why is it not happening? Do you know what I'm saying? But it remains to be seen. Whatever happens. What's this? James, you off to any of the pre-season games? We'll get you a pint. Oh, nice one, Jazza. I'm going to try and get to 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to see if I can get a ticket, and because it's very hard to get the tickets nowadays. But yeah, if they're an away game, I will be there and have a look. And I'm going to try and get to a game where I can see a guard play, right? Because I want to see how he plays in sort of his first sort of competitive game in England, basically. So it'd be interesting. See what else we got here. If we sign Onana, oh yeah, I agree, Buster. 100%, mate. I've got to laugh at that. Juve fans don't rate Pellegrini. That's why he's on the move, mate, if I'm honest. Aaron Hickey looks great. I can understand us losing out to Arsenal, but if Brentford get him, it's hard to take. Sean, I totally agree, mate. Couldn't agree anymore. And what I like about that is Brentford don't really sign shit players. They don't. They know what they're doing at that club. And when you look at the players that they have signed, they've always come in and done a reasonable job. And what irritated me more than anything, and please go and watch the show I done last night with Mitchell and Lucas. It was brilliant. £30 million for the pair. That is cheap in today's market. That's a left-sided player and a left side and a left back. It's just a no-brainer for me. And if Brentford do get the pair of them, which I believe they're about 90% there, then for me it's just criminal. We've let it go. So spot on, James. And the reason we ain't in the Europa League football is because Moyes failed already in the January window. Yeah, I agree, mate. I really do. West Ham, shout out from Los Angeles, California. There you go, mate. Look, I've gone global. You know what I mean? Big shout out to you, mate. Do you know what? Happy 4th of July to everyone from the States. Obviously, Lucas is doing his thing today, and amongst for me, as I cut out and come back in, I've spoke to a lot of Americans, and they are so passionate about our club, which is mad to say the least. But it is so refreshing to see that there's people all the way from the other side of the world, mate, supporting us. Pellegrini's a typical West Ham signing. If we lose that, maybe money will be. Tottenham are. Well, who's that? Oh dear. Right. Wearing the cross. You know you're not Novak Djokovic, right? I'm Novak's brother, pipeness. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Jamesy Djokovic. Comments have been bang on tonight. But mostly, can everyone like and subscribe to the channel, please, and give the man the support he deserves. And on that comment, I'm going to wrap it up there. Please do like the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And I apologise for the cutting out. I really do. I don't know what's happened tonight. Must be something wrong with StreamYard. So I do apologise for that. Listen, try and keep the faith. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I will be back during the week with Mitchell, Lucas, and whoever else wants to come on this channel. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to open it up soon enough. I've got a lovely idea that I'm thinking about doing. And I want to hear from people all around the world. Yeah, because listen, I value my opinion, but I value everyone else's opinion. All I haven't got to agree with you, and I can respectfully disagree with you. But there is something majorly going wrong here with West Ham in regards to signings. And for me, it's frustrating. If you've watched West Ham, and a lot of people in the chat who have been West Ham fans for a long time, they are starting to see a recurring pattern appearing over and over again. And I don't want that. I've had two of the best years with West Ham in my lifetime. Do you know what I'm saying? And I've also had to witness the Canio and all them other great players back in the late 90s. So I want this journey and this train to continue. But with us continuing that journey, we need players. And it's down to Moyes and the ownership of this club to sort it out and get it done. And if they don't, then I'm sorry, it falls on Moyes and it falls on the board. And whoever is to blame, that's entirely up to you. But from me, have a good Monday evening. Enjoy whatever you're doing. And I will catch you again in the week. Bye.